Hello and welcome to The Dreamer and the Designer. I'm Dana the Dreamer.
And I'm Chris the Designer.
And today we come to you with some exciting developments in our business. We have officially rebranded.
Yeah, we worked long and hard on it, and it kind of explains why we haven't done one of these videos before or in a while.
Yeah.
So we went with the name Pennant Creatives.
Yeah. And at first I will tell you, it wasn't like the instantaneous name that I clung to, but the more that we kind of stepped into it and kept moving forward with the name Pennant Creatives, the more it really stuck, and I felt like we really started to continue to just resonate with it. So we thought that today we'd actually talk about how the rebrand process felt. So we're gonna talk about feelings, all the feelings, which is like my favorite thing to talk about. So Chris, if you could describe your feelings journey in the rebrand process, what words would you use?
I would say openness and collaboration and color.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if that color is a feeling, but just being open to any way that the rebrand itself it led us rather than we led it.
Yeah. And I saw that specifically relating to you and the color. I think that I was impressed and also surprised at how colorful of a direction that you went in, especially because as a designer, I feel like I've not seen you try to use that much color before. But I loved the results, and it was really cool to lean into being open to things. Openness is so important. Also, just to back up, there are no wrong answers here. I feel like color can be a feeling, just kind of depending on where you are and how you're looking at it. I would say, answering my own question, I feel like a lot of my feelings actually were like clarity, confusion, and then also it's like so much of that openness and leaning into it was something that I had to really get comfortable with. It's like the thing that I think that we found was in those times of not knowing what was next, if we could just embrace that we didn't know and that was okay, that really helped us. It lent itself to being more creative.
Yeah. I know for sure multiple periods during this process that I just didn't know if the end experience that I wanted anybody to respond with was something that I could actually deliver. You go through a lot of questioning as a creative person, wondering if maybe you reach into your bag too many times and you don't have anything left. So maybe it was intentional that I used all these colors because I didn't want to have that as a limitation. I felt a little lost here and there. And sometimes I just put it off to the side and worked on other people's work. And it also, it proves that you can probably be your own worst client. It's hard working with yourself sometimes.
I bet. I mean, I think that I felt that way too. I wasn't as involved with the artistic actual making and building. So in certain senses, in certain parts of the project, I could remove myself from that. And I feel like you couldn't. And there were times where that was just what we had to do is just embrace it and get lost a little bit. And it's typical us though. You know how like when we go on vacation, some of our favorite days are the ones where we have zero plan and we just amble about and discover random things.
Yep.
I think that's kind of like what the creative process is sometimes, is, we don't know where we're going, and sometimes it doesn't really matter. Like most of the time it's like that. Let's get lost together. And we come up with something really cool. On vacation, we come up with cool memories when we get lost together.
Yep.
Creatively, well, look at our website. But I think the biggest feeling that we're not mentioning right now, but that I think that I'm trying to continue to come back to, and as a creative, it's really hard to do, but is pride. And it's so funny because it's all what our business is all about, honestly. Pennant Creatives is like that idea of, let's work and strive and move towards a goal together. And when we're done, we can raise a pennant and celebrate our victory. And I feel like that's something that I feel is I'm so proud of what we've come up with.
Yeah, it's when you interact with all the colors and the shapes, it's celebratory. There's just a lot out there. Speaking of like the colors and the shapes that is present in the brand, and the pennant is something that's usually associated with baseball. Baseball is a sport that Dana and I we have a mutual affinity for, and we happen to root for rival teams. So
let's go Mets!
Let's go Phillies!
That's where we'll leave it. But how do you feel now that we're through it? What was your ending feeling?
Probably relief, and also now that a little bit of time has passed, I think it's been about a couple months since we settled on the brand and produced the website and our print materials, that I'm actually looking forward to updating it a little bit, refining it, just always tinkering away at it, trying to get it to where it wants to be. And right now it's telling me it could use a little bit more. So that's where I'm at.
I love you. Well, so this was a kind of cool time to actually process our feelings. I don't think we really have sat down and done this. I'm glad we did. And so, yeah, what are the feelings that you feel when you're doing a project, and how do you process those? Maybe it is like just thinking through like ways to process how you felt about something in a project, good or bad, if it's your own project or if it's for someone else. So let's unpack that a little bit in the comments. Reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you, interact with you. And that's where we're going to leave this episode. So hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.